All right, welcome. You're here with Book Podcaster.
And today we're tackling something, well, pretty universal. Grief and loss.
Yeah, and let's be real, dealing with heavy stuff like this, it can feel like staring down a mountain of notes right before a big test.
Totally. That feeling of being completely swamped.
Exactly. But look, don't sweat it. We've sort of done the groundwork for you here.
hmm We've dug into psychiatric mental health nursing, concepts of care in evidence-based practice.
Right. And the idea is to pull out the key things about grief, what it looks like, the different kinds, and importantly, how we can support ourselves and others going through it.
And hopefully do that without making it sound like a dry lecture, you know?
That's the plan. Keep it clear, keep it helpful. So first off, the book really emphasizes that grief is universal. Everyone goes through it.
But it looks so different for each person. Like a fingerprint analogy works well here, maybe.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, everyone's is unique. There's no single right way to grieve.
And that's such a crucial thing to remember right off the bat. It sets the stage.
It really does. Okay, so most people have probably heard of the Kubler-Ross stages, right?
Denial, anger, bargaining,
Mm.
depression, and acceptance. The classic five.
Yeah. But the key thing, and the text highlights this too, is that they're not like steps on a ladder you have to climb in order.
Not at all. It's more like, well, potential phases or feelings you might experience. Some people skip stages, some revisit them.
It's messy, basically, and that's normal.
Exactly. It normalizes that messy reality. And that leads into another important point from the book, the difference between sort of typical grief and complicated grief.
Right, so normal grief is obviously painful, but you kind of adapt over time.
Yeah, you integrate the loss.
Yeah.
But complicated grief, that's when the intense pain just sticks around for a really long time.
Like it gets in the way of daily life.
Significantly.
Yeah.
The sadness just doesn't lift. It becomes this constant presence. And that's often when professional help is, really beneficial.
That makes a lot of sense. Like your emotional processing is just kind of stuck.
Hmm. Another angle the book explores, which I found really interesting, is culture.
Oh, yeah. How different cultures handle grief. That's huge, isn't it?
It really is. Rituals, expectations, how sorrow is expressed.
Mm.
It varies so much around the world.
So it's not just our personal feelings, it's also shaped by our community and traditions.
Precisely. It gives you this much broader perspective on how people navigate loss.
Which is super important. So, okay, thinking practically. If someone you know is grieving, what's actually helpful? What does the book suggest?
Well, a big theme is empathetic listening. Just being there.
Not trying to fix it.
Exactly. Resist that urge to jump in with solutions or cliches like time heals all wounds. Sometimes just sitting with someone, their sadness is powerful.
Yeah, I think we often feel awkward and want to say something profound, but maybe listening is more profound.
Often, yes. And beyond listening, the text talks about practical support.
Like resources.
Right. Things like support groups connecting with others who get it. Or maybe suggesting counseling. Or even simple relaxation techniques if stress is high.
Okay, that feels concrete. The book even had that example, didn't it? The 60-year-old woman.
Yes. Grieving her husband. And how just listening compassionately and helping her find a grief support group made a real difference.
It really illustrates the point, doesn't it, that connection matters.
It really does. So, wrapping it up, grief is complex, it's personal. Support often looks like quiet empathy and offering connections, not quick fixes.
And remembering that cultural background adds another layer to how people experience and express loss.
Absolutely.
So the key things to hold on to: grief is unique. Support is about listening and resources. And culture matters. Maybe something to think about is just how differently societies approach loss and what we might learn from that diversity.
That's a great point for reflection.
Definitely food for thought. Hey, look, navigating this stuff is tough, but honestly, you got this. Just remember to be kind to yourself, especially with difficult emotions. Take care out there.